Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the choir concert tonight. We have a theme tonight called From Sea to Shining Sea. And tonight's concert is dedicated to the music of America. So tonight, it seems like at higher institutions, we tend to focus a lot on all kinds of classical music and music of other cultures. Tonight is a little bit different because it is a little bit lighter in nature, and everything that you'll hear is an American folk song or a historically American song, or it is written by an American composer. We hope that you'll learn a few things about some of our American composers and our American music tonight. Personally, it's been quite a joy for me to share just a small portion of our American musical culture with our students and with our community members. So we'll start with concert choir tonight. I just want to remind you we are videoing this concert and recording professionally, so if you could please make sure that you've silenced all devices. We would love to have just the choir and the instruments and not an additional electronic soundtrack tonight. Thank you so much.
What child or adult has never dreamed of flying? As the piece excitedly starts out, soaring and spinning and touching the sky, the boy who picked up his feet to fly. Hooray, oh dear, so long, goodbye, said Johnny and Jenny and Alice and Bly. However, this piece concludes with a warning. The boy who picked up his feet to fly never was able to step from the sky, but he flew on and on as years passed by, and deep in the wind, you can still hear him sigh. The lyrics were written by a young American poet, Mark Robinson, and composed by Joshua Shank while he was getting his vocal music education degree at Luther College.
Johnny and Jenny and Alice and
I'd like to tell you a little bit about the next two pieces that we have. The first one is called Idumea, which does not sound like something that would be in English, but it is sung in English. Idumea was arranged by American composer Richard Biela, who is director of choral activities at Texas Tech University. The original composition of this piece dates back to the early 1800s from shape note tune books. And shape note singing is something that was developed among the Protestant churches to teach their people how to sing hymns. And so this song represents one branch of that old traditional American music. Began in New England in the 1700s, and it really developed under the influence of all of the revival services in the mid-1800s and the late 1800s, which brings us to that revival time. And one of the things that was really popular in those revival times were the camp meetings. And so we have a camp meeting song that we're going to share with you as well. This type of singing became characteristic of church singing for years afterwards, and we still see that influence. This is a time when they wanted to bring songs to the people to really inspire them in this revival, to turn everybody's hearts to their way of belief. And so the second song we're singing is a camp meeting song from the mid-1800s called No Time. That one is arranged by Susan Brumfeld, and she is professor of music education at Texas Tech University. A lot of great things happening in Texas, huh? And she is also the founder and director of the West Texas Children's Choir. So we have people that are contributing to the music world that are also teaching people how to teach music and raising people in the tradition of choral singing. The lyrics speak of meeting in the skies and hearing angels in the morning, for there is no time to tarry here. So this is Idumea and No Time.
Eric Whitaker is a well-known and world-renowned composer, conductor, and speaker. He is responsible for the creation of virtual choirs, and this innovation made it possible to create ensemble music during the recent COVID pandemic. It's very common for composers to take poems that they enjoy and create a beautiful musical arrangement. When composer Eric Whitacre saw these 3 poems from poet Ogden Nash, he knew they were perfect. He is known for creating some of the most beautiful, intricate pieces that will leave you in awe. This isn't one of those pieces.
Our first 2 pieces will be sung straight through without a break between. They are 2 of the 3 pieces we will be opening our concert with on this Sunday, May 1st. The first piece, titled Stomp on the Fire by Andrea Ramsey, has 3 distinct sections meant to represent the human journey. The first section sounds mournful, a cry for humanity. The second section grows with multiple layers, meant to represent the constant struggle against injustice. The final section conveys a sense of strength and unity. The layering vocals at the end help to show the power and connection between embracing diversity and finding its unity. The piece concludes with a collective stomp, and then we will transition immediately into Oh How Beautiful This Finely Woven Earth by Greg Jaspers. This piece showcases the beauty and unity and love and human connection. We hope you enjoy going on this journey with us.
Thank you for bearing with us with these little logistical changes and getting people on and off the risers. We have a lot of choir members. I'm going to tell you a little bit about University Chorus as they're approaching the stage. University Chorus is a combination of students, alumni, and community members. Some of these alumni are from Lindenwood. Some of these are alumni from back in the day when I taught high school just a couple of years ago. We'll just say that, right, kids? I still call them my kids, even though they are grown-up adults and raising families, but they're still my kids. This choir meets on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, and we will start up again in the fall on August 23rd. So we would love to have anybody who loves to sing join us once a week to rehearse with this group. One of the things that I have always wanted to do is to direct a choir of intergenerational singers. And I think it's really important for our choir, our college kids, to get to mix and mingle with people that are just living their adult lives so that they can have a balance and they can meet new people and enjoy some really great friendships. It's really been fun for me to watch the mingling and the socialization that's happening before and after rehearsal with these members. They've really made a community happen.
Our first piece is a very common Latin text. It translates to, "O you people who pass this way, look and see if there exists any sorrow like unto my sorrow. Remember, Lord, consider and notice our humiliation and disgrace." The composer, Z. Randall Stroop, chose this text because of its humanness. Some form of suffering is common to all human beings. This musical setting seeks to capture the wide range of emotions which Jeremiah must have felt: grief-stricken, alone, ready to cry out, and torn between faith and circumstance. Indeed, Stroop has sought to let the audience feel sorrow in one breath and love in the next. The piece ends in a sudden, overwhelming feeling of confidence and unleashed power in his Lord, and the strength of that relationship in difficult times.
The next piece, I Am in Need of Music, was written in memory of David Knott, a choral director who passed away in 1995. The piece was actually composed by one of his students, David Bruner, who is now a choral director in higher education. He chose to compose this piece using Elizabeth Bishop's poem entitled Sonnet. He felt the phrases in the piece provided a sense of comfort that would fit his goal of the piece, honoring a man who was so many things to so many people. Bruner especially liked these lines: I am in need of music that would flow over my fretful, feeling fingertips and held in the arms of rhythm and of sleep. This piece will be conducted by a master's student, Alex Johnson, who is our assistant director, and his fan club is here, and I love that, thank you. But here's what he said about why he chose this piece. I chose this piece because that message means a whole lot more coming out of this pandemic. Music was the only thing that kept a lot of us sane. My favorite quote from the song is, "A song to fall like water on my head." Music washes over us and fills every empty space, soothing the trembling lips and revealing the magic in the melody. I Am in Need of Music, conducted by Alex Johnson. While we have concert choir joining University Chorus for our final number, I wanted to take a moment to thank some people. First, I would like to thank our theater, lighting, and technical staff so that they made this space possible, and it made it possible for you to see what's happening. So we really appreciate them. We also would like to thank our department chair who supports us greatly, John O'Hagan, as well as our dean, Dr. Kathy Vosevich, who's a great supporter of our program. You would not be able to hear what you're hearing in such a wonderful way if were it not for Adam Donahue, who is a professor in the music department, and his crew of production students. So the student production team has been running the sound and the logistics and been recording and videoing this whole concert for us, and we're just so appreciative of their work. Thank you so much. I could not do this without them, so I really appreciate them. I'd also like to thank all of the instrumentalists that were a part of tonight's concert. I said to someone earlier, the thing that scares me the most about this concert is the logistics of getting the instrumentalists on and off the stage at the right time. And that was partly because the instrumentalists are so great and knew exactly what was happening, and so did the production crew. So I appreciate them serving the music program and lending their talents to the concert. So thank you all, instrumentalists. The most important instrumentalists, though, are the ones sitting at the piano. A great choir is great because of its great accompanists. And we have two of the greatest in the area, in my opinion. So can you please give it up for Deanne Glenn and Zach Newman. A good accompanist is very difficult to find, and I am very grateful for those two that have collaborated with me on every measure and every beat, so they're wonderful people. This last song that we're going to sing, you can't do an American concert without some kind of gospel music, I think. So this is a gospel song. Now, this is an original song written in the gospel style by a St. Louis composer. His name is Michael Engelhardt. And he actually manages the Cathedral Basilica and also writes music, and his music has been performed all over the world, and this is one of my favorites that he's written. It's called How Good, and one of the things that I love about this song is it talks about how good and pleasant it is when we come together in unity. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. One of the great things about singing is that we have a community of musicians that work together to create a sound. And we hope that we have touched your hearts in some way tonight, and we hope you really enjoy this final number, How Good. We have a whole weekend of concerts, so please join us. Hello. Join us this weekend in the Black Box for a whole bunch of concerts. All of them are listed on our website, so join us for our small ensemble concerts too. Thank you and good night.